Okay, hello. So as you can see, I have all the strips here. Ignore the instructions you see here. I updated them so you have strips 1 through 8. Make sure you're counting the numbers of combs. So for example, if one says 4, line them up. I personally like having 1, 2, and 3 strips ready. So I'm gluing as I go, and then I just put the rest to the side. So this is what I'm doing. Also, I'm showing you the type of cardboard I use. You can find it anywhere around your house. I also found it at Costco. It's in the paper towel section. It's free. It's like taking cardboard. It's free. Or you can even use a cereal box. Now that I have all that lined up, I see what score needs to go first, and in the instructions you can see each score, how it's supposed to look. I know that the first one is going to have a sharp L shape, so before I start gluing or even add glue, as you can see it's an L shape, I will follow the score and follow the shape I want around. So I do that first. I mold all the scores. I am showing you that needs to be glued over, and there's a picture in your instructions that there's some that need to be crossed over and glued. So this glue, I can find it at Dollar Tree. It's on Amazon, any craft store, honestly. I also use paper clips, and you'll see how I use the paper clips. And also, the way I glue this is I make sure that every strip is saturated in glue. Not so much, but whereas not one end has less than the other, so when I'm gluing, one won't lift from the bottom or from the top. This glue I prefer to use versus a hot glue gun because it's something that you are able to use and mold as you go. As you can see, I use the pin on this part just so I can make it more circular, and honestly, you can make it maneuver how you want it to. Again, here's another strip. I always make sure that you have the proper strip by counting the scores, the combs, and the closest to the score. And then again, before I glue it, I fold, make sure I have all the scores how they need to be folded, and I mold it, and then I apply glue. And remember, the glue, for it to be able to breathe, I would let it dry a little bit, but I'm pressing down as I'm following it. Here I need a little bit more glue, so I'm allowing that, and then I just press down, and see how here there's another comb. I'm showing you, I just tap glue under it, or you can glue beforehand, but you can, the more you do these boxes, the differently you'll make them. Right here I add the glue, and then I tap it down. Make sure you tap it down, and then you paper clip it, because if you don't tap it down, that glue will lift and naturally the paper is gonna go up. So tap it down, then secure it with a paper clip. And the same thing, I'm going to do the same thing throughout the whole box. Before I glue, I am going to make sure those scores line up and everything's going on quickly, and then I'll fold it in whatever needs to be glued in the corner as I'm showing you. Then I make sure I do that, and then I will apply the glue once I know that every score line. This one needs to be curled, and you can see that in the instructions, some are curled, some are not. So make sure you have your PDF instructions. Again, the one I have right now in the video, I changed it. I made this box, I want to say, at least 10 times, and I just wanted it to be as easy as possible. But out of all the boxes, this is the most complex one. So be patient, you're not in a rush, and just enjoy it. Your first one might be a little more rough, but by the time you do the third one or the second one, you'll be a pro. Here I'm showing you the different scores, how it's going. Some are rough, some For example, the scores that are like 3 together, those are meant to be more curved, and then some are just kind of slightly curved. I don't know if that makes sense. Just follow the video, look at your instructions. If you have any questions, please send me a message and I will try to help you as most as I can. The point of this box is for you to enjoy it, and that's just what crafting is. It's a hobby, and it's something that is relaxing for me. So don't stress about it. You got this. I believe in you, and you believe in yourself, or else you would not be making this box. And I'm showing you that this eraser, you can find it on Amazon. This is a lifesaver because this glue is very messy. So even this glue, this eraser works magnificently if you erase just a little over that moment that it dried a little bit. Then it's easy to erase. If you erase right when it landed, then no, it's just going to be even more messy. So let it dry a little bit. If you let it dry overnight, it's just not going to erase. It's going to be more difficult. So that eraser, you can find it on Amazon. It's called a glue eraser, or you can even find it at Dollar Tree in the craft section. So now we are on the lid part. Again, before you start gluing, figure out the mold first of your scores and then you glue it. That's what I do, and I keep on doing it, and I do these boxes and I sell them in my area. So even though I make them hundreds and hundreds of times, I still first figure out the scores and then go from there, because most than likely if it does not line up is because your strip is either too big or too small and you got the wrong one. So follow the numbers that I put, and I don't know if that makes sense, that the combs, if I put 5 on top, that means there's 5 little combs before you reach the score line. towards the end, I go back on the lid because it does lift up, because this glue, it doesn't really hold it right away. It takes a couple seconds. So I hold it down and I press it down. Now for the bottom base, if you don't like how the combs show, which is fine to me because usually I just fill it up with either chocolate strawberries or candy, and you can't really see it. At the end of the day, it's just a box. But if it bothers you, you can cut out another base and just cut around it with the scissors until it fits in. And then I also like using, for example, when you do the lid on top, there you usually try any other color, the inside is going to be left over, so you don't toss it. I like putting it inside the box just to give it that. Now, as you can see, I'm going to glue in the acetate, which is the clear part, and I will go around it, and then a lot of glue will spill over, so make sure you scrape that off, because if you put the acetate and you don't remove that glue from the bottom, it's going to glue on the acetate, and trust me, it is a pain to remove it with the glue eraser. So it's just easier for me to wipe it down and then press down, and it gives it a little bit of more time for the glue to breathe a little bit, and so it can stick quicker. Also, I like adding a little bit of weights, that way I'm not holding it down the whole time. And then after that, I glue in the glittery superior part on top with tacky glue, and it's easier for me than the other glue. If I can avoid it, then I avoid it, but tacky glue just works a lot better. And then I put a notebook on top, or whatever you have that's on top that's not too heavy, just to hold it down again, so I'm not pressing it. Now I am showing you that score that's on a third score in the middle, so it molds. Just pinch it, and as you're closing the box, make sure you close it from the bottom of the M as I'm showing you. Start there. Once it closes in there, then work your way to the right side of the M, and then just work around the whole M, and then eventually it'll close. It just needs to mold up to it, but it will close. And I've done this box 10 times before I decided to release it. Again, any questions, concerns, problems, please send me a message on my Etsy. Thank you.